A journey begins with one small step. It doesn't matter how hard you hit, whether you win or lose. What matters is that you have a common goal. And to reach that goal, it takes a band of brothers acting as one. Every week, we come together to witness these gladiators of the gridiron pour their heart and soul onto the field. This is Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome to Charlie Trippy Stadium in Yatesville, Luzerne County. Tonight, for the 54th time, it's the matchup between Wyoming area and Pittston area. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, and welcome to week number 10 of high school football here on MyTV WQMY. Joining me in the booth, former Tunkhannock area coach Jan Sechak. Paul Grippy's on the sidelines. He'll join us shortly. We know a couple things, Coach, going in. Both teams headed to the postseason next week. And you can throw out the records in tonight's game.
Absolutely. This week, and it's such a bitter rivalry that these two teams, they get after it. They have a lot at stake. Wyoming area does not want to go 9-1. They want to keep that unblemished mark. Pittston area wants to improve their seed in the Quad A standings.
The Warriors coming in, nice balanced attack, but the running game is doing pretty good this year with Corey Marook running the ball.
Corey is just a power runner. His favorite running back is Alvin Kamara of the Saints, and he really wants to try to emulate what he does with the shake and bake action, the spins, and the power running. So they're really going to lean heavily on him, and Pittston's going to have to shut him down.
Pittston, they really don't have a running game at all, so they've gone to the passing game, and Andrew Kravchuk, the wide receiver, having a great year.
He really is. He's received over 400 yards this year. He has 7 touchdowns. He's their go-to guy. His favorite NFL player is Odell Beckham, and he thinks tonight he might be able to do some of those one-handed grabs.
Well, that would be pretty impressive if he could do that. Last year, this game, Pittston area won over at Wyoming area on a last-second field goal. What will happen tonight? Wyoming area going for a perfect regular season for the first time since 1997. The Patriots trying to knock them off. It's Wyoming area and Pittston area. Next.
Do you know a student or fan of tonight's game? Call them now and tell them they can watch on any computer, tablet, or smartphone wherever they are. Go to fox56.com for a high-quality live stream right now.
Here come the Warriors trying to remain undefeated on the regular season, but the Patriots trying to knock them off for the second straight year as they get headed to the playoffs. Welcome back to Charlie Trippy Stadium, everyone. We're ready for tonight's game, but first we have to check in with Paul Grippy.
Hey Bob, tonight during the game we'll talk a lot of offense, a lot of defense, but I'm very interested in special teams. A little history tonight in District 2. First time two teams have ever met who have female kickers. Both Pittston area and Wyoming area have girls doing the booting. Wyoming area has done it before, but Pittston area has Lucia Carabetta. She used to play on the soccer team. She quit soccer, took up football, and has been doing the extra point kicking and place kicking for the Patriots. As for Wyoming area, Aaliyah Cranston still plays soccer and plays football this season. She has been a very consistent place kicker, and she's a terrific soccer player. Last year, she led the conference in scoring. This year in soccer, she got her 100th goal. She's also an AP student. So Aaliyah Cranston, Lucia Carabetta, they're also very good friends, and we're looking forward to seeing how they perform tonight as kickers. And by the way, Aaliyah has already played Pittston area once this year in soccer. She beat them 6-0. Bob?
Thank you, Paul. The Warriors won the toss. They elected to receive. Back to receive. Williams and Harris, and John DeLuca gets this game underway. Squibbler picked up. Taking it up. DiPietro for a couple yards. Pittston area going to begin, Wyoming area begin their series around the 40-yard line. Here's what we'll see underneath center. Dominic DeLuca. He's thrown for 694 yards. Coach, 4 interceptions and 14 TDs.
That's not a bad ratio to have at all. He's really done some really nice, good decision making. Coach Spencer said before the game that the game is in his hands.
See if they try to establish Rook first. They do. Nice push from the offensive line. Gain of 7. on the first series. Here is your offense, brought to you by Toyota. Nicholas Elko, he's just a freshman. Watch him, 265-pounder. He has run for 109 yards this year. Brian Williams on the outside, 20 catches and 6 touchdowns. And up front, looking pretty good. Bryce Hinkle in the middle. He's the sophomore amongst 4 seniors. Straight eye. Ruck through. Good push from the line inside Patriot territory.
On this play, you'll see that the fullback, Nick Elko, they're running ISO. He just destroys that defensive end to allow Corey Ruck to do what he does best, get those yards.
16-yard gain. How quickly come the Warriors? This is a team that averages over 43 points this season. This time the defense is there. Brian Heron, the junior, wraps up Rook.
You'll see Michael Amato on this play. He'll start to pull to his right. Here we go. And Mike Elko right there, or excuse me, Nick Elko out there, lead blocking on that defensive end.
They remain in that I formation. First pass when you look to the outside is broken up nicely out there by Lukachko.
On that play, Dylan Lukachko does a great job breaking to the ball, gets his hand between there. And again, you'll see quarterback rolling out. Ball's a little wobbly. He's got to just get his feet set a little bit more. Again, a right-handed quarterback going to his left is always the toughest throw they'll have to make.
Junior quarterback doing a nice job cutting it on that and showed some nice speed out there. 3rd and long on the way. Option. Rook gets a block, but it's tripped up short of a first down.
It's brought down by number 4, Brennan Higgins, a junior. Does a nice job. And again, that big Nick Elko lead blocking out here on that lead option. Good vision in there.
But Elko kind of missed that block, and he shot right in just behind him.
One of the problems I've noticed, I've watched on film, is, again, he's only a freshman, and he's a big kid, and his speed's only going to get faster. Once he's up to speed, per se, he's going to be a terror.
So we'll go for it on 4th down. Good time. Here comes the rush. Flag comes in. DeLuca is going to be short of a first down. The whistle blows. Depending on what the penalty is, it looks like Pittston area may have held. It will take over on downs.
You'll see on this play, here he's rolling to his left, checks off right. They were trying to set a screen up. Pittston did a great job sniffing that out.
Heron on the tackle.
Holding. On the offense. Penalties decline. First down.
So after giving up a couple of big plays, the Patriot defense holds.
The Patriots, they settled down. They started reading their keys. And again, with this offense that Wyoming area runs, with Corey Ruck back there, they know where they're going to go.
So here comes Pittston area out, averaging just over 18 points per game. See if they go to the air with Nacito. Some movement up front. And it's going to go against Wyoming area. Some nerves early on, as you might expect in a rivalry game, Coach.
Absolutely. The kids have, we talked about earlier on our video vlog this week, both coaches were worried that their kids are going to be playing with too much emotion and not enough discipline. And that was right there. That's just an adrenaline jump right there.
Good field position for Pittston area to begin their first drive. Nacito in the shotgun. Here comes the big rush. And they try to get to the running back. Lukachko know where to go. Rook's shooting in. So let's take a look at Nacito's numbers. Over 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions.
And that is the problem. I talked to Coach Barberi, and he wishes Obviously, those interceptions didn't happen because that actually cost him, he felt, maybe 1 or 2 games. But he's a junior in there, and that's not really, evident of how good this kid's going to be.
Pittston area, though, wants to establish a running game. They have not done a good job this year at all. They get Nacito out to the flat. Giambra there with the catch. They get some of it back. 3rd down on the way. So Brian Giambra pulls it in. He's a 6'1 senior.
You'll see on this play, Nacito rolls to his left, and a quick pass, and Giambra does a nice job tucking and running. Gets some tough yards, gives them a little bit better on 3rd and short.
Harris on the tackle, but that's what you're going to see from Nacito. You're not going to see him in the pocket a lot today, will you?
They're going to, because they have such a young line, they'd want to try to protect him as best they can and let him be an athlete.
Threw the ball behind Giambra, so that should bring up 4th down, and we'll probably see Mike Cole come in to punt. Both teams hold their possession on the opening drives as things will settle down here in this game with 8:13 remaining in the first quarter.
It looked to me on that pass play that Nacito was rolling out, and he's going to try to throw in that 5th step, and it looked like Giambra actually slipped a little bit, and that's why the ball was thrown behind him.
Harris and Williams back to receive. Mike Coe does the kicking for Pittston area. Well, everyone just ran downfield. Coe, I think, thought about running for it. Instead, he kicks a low line drive, but it will put Wyoming area around the 26-yard line.
Friday Night Rivals is brought to you by Keystone College. It's a great fit with over 40 degree options, small class sizes, new football program, and Division III athletics.
So the Patriots defense held on the first possession, but they've had a tough time this year, giving up over 28 points per game.
They end up getting worn down late in the game, and with the way this running style is, and there's Corey Muruck right now breaking free.
Breaking 3 up past the 40-yard line. On an 18-yard gain.
On this, here's that counter tray that I've talked about all season. The right guard, right tackle are coming at us to the left side, and they're just lead blocking. Offensive line's blocking down. And Corey's got great vision in there.
He's already run for a couple big gains. See if they keep giving him the ball. Why not? They do. Side steps. Mike Coe shoots over, as does Heron. Defense. So let's take a look at this Pittston defense, giving up around 346 yards per game. DeLuca in the middle. He's a 5'11 senior. Saw him on a couple plays already. Coe just made the tackle right there. He's 6'1 junior. And behind them, the secondary, the catch goes back there. Were a couple INTs on the season. Comes that running attack. Little stiff arm from Rook. He's going to be about a yard short.
Number 23, Corey Muruck is the ball carrier.
There you see the running style that you kind of focused a little bit on this in the beginning.
I wanted to talk to each of our spotlight players of the game to find out what their thoughts are in their head, what they look for in terms of NFL running backs or receivers. On that play, he had a nice stiff arm on number 74, Seth Johnson.
Elko, the big fullback, shoots through inside Patriot territory up to the 40. You give the dog a bone once in a while, right?
Absolutely. He's the guy that fullback that gets in there and does all the blocking 98% of the time. You'll see this, just a quick dive play. Corey Muruck going out there like he's running option. And Nick Elko, 265 pounds, is a big boy to bring down.
Warriors back in Patriot territory. Their second possession. Gonna stick on the ground. Weave it through Muruck Coy with the tackle, but not after a nice gain. Up to the 34, about 7 on that.
And here you'll see that counter tray. Fullback goes right, the right guard, right tackle pulling to the left. And Corey's vision does a nice job. That's why he was able to jab step back inside towards the linebackers.
Well, Rook's had himself a couple big games this year against Myers, just 18 carries, 190 yards, and 4 touchdowns in that game. Back to the big fullback. Let's see where they're going to mark his knee. Short of the 30, so 3rd down on the way. Nice drive again on the ground, and that's what Wyoming area is going to want to do.
They've just been pounding the ball all year. When you have two established running backs like Elko and Ruck back there, that could be really devastating.
Yeah, I mean, 256 yards per game.
And then when you have Dominic DeLuca, who's able to throw the ball, 14 touchdowns this year, they have a very balanced attack.
DeLuca, nice athletic quarterback. You see some moves there inside up to the 23. 9 on that for the quarterback. What you haven't seen and what they did last time was show a couple passes, but when incomplete, now they're just going to straight handoffs.
Well, then at that time we saw Dominic get involved with the game. Other than just handing it off, he says, you know what, I'm an athlete, I'm going to run the ball.
Well, DeLuca has 8 touchdowns on the year, over 370 yards. Nothing fancy, just a little Marook here and Marook there, and Marook inside the 10. A flag comes in.
Number 23.
Looks like it might be a face mask, and it might be a 1st and goal for Wyoming area.
On this play, it's just the base ISO play. The offensive line is doing what we call Bob, big on big. They're going to double at the point of attack. And Corey Marook just running tough, hits that defender, spins, puts his shoulder down, and there was a face mask.
Half the distance to the goal, and the ball will be inside the 4. And Wyoming area is in the Manuka Subaru red zone. 1st and goal. 9th play of the drive coming up. All on the ground. Started at their Pittston area 26-yard line. Eating up about 4 minutes. Give it to Marook. Brody in there. Makes the tackle at the 1.
Corey Marook is the ball carrier. Stop on the play for the Patriots.
Impressive drive.
So far, so good, Bob. These guys are a well-oiled machine with this run play. That last run, left guard Mike Amato kicks out the end. Corey didn't like what he saw, bounced it back inside.
Time of possession going to be so important tonight for Pittston area. You want to keep this offense off the field.
And that's a monumental task.
Marook in for a touchdown. And it's a Manuka Subaru touchdown for number 23, his 16th of the season. And it gives the Warriors a 6-0 lead.
On this touchdown, you'll see they go power eye right, and they just power back in there. Both the power back, fullback leading their way through. The offensive line blocks down to their left.
Number 39, Aaliyah Cranston, to attempt extra point.
So our first chance to see Aaliyah Cranston, number 39. Just missed 3 PATs this year. Paul highlighted the 2 female kickers tonight we'll see for extra points. She puts it up and through. And with 3:33 remaining in the first, Wyoming area takes the 7-0 lead. And welcome back, Wyoming area, with a 7-0 lead on an impressive drive from the Warriors. Russin to kick. Giambra and Kravchik deep to receive. It's Haas who had the ball, number 6. He brings it up past the 20. And Pittston area going to come back out on the field down 7.
Established in 1967, ServPro is a national leader of fire, water, mold, and other specialty cleanup and restoration services. Their professionals are faster to any size disaster and are available 24 hours, 7 days a week to restore or clean your property. ServPro will make fire, water, and mold damage like it never happened. You can reach them at 1-800-SERVPRO.
So Pittston area, they'll hand it off to Lechkochko, and he's not going anywhere. Another loss on the play. Lechkochko on this year has carried the ball 117 times for 591 yards and 5 touchdowns. And we know Coach Barberi would like to see a little bit more from that rushing attack tonight.
And speaking with Coach Barberi and Coach Mills, the offensive line coach for Pittston, they know that they were going to be having some experience in there, but they knew they were going to struggle with having such a young backfield.
Here comes the blitz. Late flag coming in. Oh, Boyle on the carry. Here's the Pittston area offense. Cole, the fullback, doing a good job receiving. 11 catches on the year. Has a touchdown. Talked about Krafchick as we have a flag down. But how about Giamber on the other side? 27 catches, 424 yards and 4 touchdowns. And up front, Coach talked about they're young. How about sophomore Yanchis on the outside, 6'3", 286-pound sophomore.
And he's surrounded with 4 seniors that are decent size. And again, last year they weren't playing as much because they had a different group of senior linemen in there.
After the penalty, it's 2nd and short. Boyle, not much there to the 30. Bring up 3rd down and really trying to get the running game going.
They're going to try to establish something inside here. You'll see right here, they're trying to run a little counter tray with the backside slot back coming as the lead blocker.
3rd and 2. Patriots.
Yeah, across the front line, Pittston area is 230, 235, 240, 230. And then you have Yanchis on the outside, 286.
And that's a nice size offense, high school offensive line.
Get it out to Boyle, makes a move, another move. And it looks like he'll have a 1st down for Pittston area.
Number 7, Mike Macedo's pass is complete.
You'll see on this play right here, they're just going to go with that quick flare. And it was good enough for a 1st down.
The Macedo completion will be good for a Patriot 1st down.
Under a minute to play here in the 1st quarter. Wyoming area up 7-0. Goes the blitz, and from the outside, they got him. Ambrosino in for his 3rd sack on the season, and no one picked him up.
On that play, the Patriots decided to go empty, and they had no one on the right or left side for those defensive ends. And both, they just, like we tell the defensive ends, let them eat. And they came hard.
So it'll look like Wyoming area, again, like they've done all season long, will not give up a 1st quarter touchdown. They lead their rivals from Pittston area 7-0 with 1 quarter in the books. Back for the 2nd quarter at Charlie Trippy Stadium. Bob I, Jan Cechak, and Paul Grippy. 7-0 Pittston. Wyoming area leads. Pittston area has picked up 1 1st down, but it's 2nd and long and going to be 3rd and long as well.
Number 7.
Wyoming area just kind of teeing off on that defensive line a couple of times here.
Wysocki on this one, bad snap. Quarterback took his eyes off of it. And where's Wysocki coming in, putting pressure, number 75. Cameron Carr for Wyoming area, the 6'4", 205-pound, gets a sack, almost had the ball.
So it's recorded as a sack, as you mentioned, 10th sack on the year. So it's one of those high-power guys, 13 tackles for a loss as well. But this is not the spot Pittston area wants to be in.
No, when you're 3rd and 20, that's not. You don't have anything on your hit chart for that.
Well, they may get 5 back here. I think Wyoming area may have jumped. Nope. Like I say, Pittston area moved first.
Remains 3rd down.
Penalty flag on the play, indication from the field. Illegal
And we talk about, Bob, the mental aspect that these players go through that coaches always stress. These are the plays and the penalties that drive coaches crazy. And the kids, I mean, they don't do it intentionally, but sometimes it just it gets the best of them.
Well, Pittston area's job tonight is definitely going uphill.
Oh, big time.
Wyoming area's outscored their opponents in the first half this year, 219 to 14. So that just tells you what kind of season the Warriors are having. Safe call, Kochko on the ground, up to the 20.
Number 22, Dylan Kochko with the ball carrier. Stop on the play for the Warriors. By number 7.
So here's the defense. We've seen a lot. We've already called out Ambrosino's name on the outside at defensive end. The linebackers, just a couple in there. Rook talked about him offense, but on defense, 48 tackles on the season, and 9 tackles for a loss. And in the secondary,
For the Patriots, number 6, Brian Williams.
DeLuca, the senior, has an interception, a couple sacks. Coe with the kick. Nice coverage down there. Harris, though, up for about 4. Great field position for Wyoming area to
Number 22,
take over on this drive at the Pittston area 46.
stopped immediately on the play by number 4.
That was a line drive punt that was fielded, and the Patriots did a good job of containing them. But again, now the Warriors are opening up on Pittston's side.
There you see Randy Spencer, 11th season with the Warriors team, has a district championship under his belt in 2012. Both coaches, though, played in this one as Rook goes up for a good gain. Randy Spencer, you know, he played back in the day, so did Barberi. On the other side,
Did they play against each other?
no. I knew you were going to ask me.
I knew it. Bob, you were the man of wealth
Well, I
of
don't know about that.
information.
There you see the play.
They come out with that power G look. You'll see that backside guard come and kick down. Power I.
Rook to the outside, inside the 35 to the 33, and a first down for Wyoming area.
And Andrew Krawczyk brought him down. They went power I on this play. It was interesting watching Andrew on that play. Coaches, we try to teach receivers and D-backs about hand fighting. And Corey was trying to stiff arm him, and he swatted it out of the way.
Power I, big, nice hole. Rook shoots through. Give him about 5 more. Right now, Corey Baruch going to be well over 100 yards if he at this pace. Talked about his 190-yard game, coach, and against Hanover area, 127 yards and 3 touchdowns on just 16 carries.
And those carries that you're talking about and those yards, he's really not playing a full game either. So they give the work to him, he gets it done, and Coach Spencer rewards them and the younger kids by allowing them to get that playing experience.
Hugh Bentham, the junior, made the tackle.
Play by number 70, Hugh Bentham.
What does Pittston area have to do? Because they don't want to give up any more points. They don't want to get down a bunch in this game.
They're just going to have to play better gaps. If they can just shoot their gap, I think that's going to help them at least at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. Right now, they're just getting dominated.
Well, last week, Wyoming area put up 56, excuse me, on Hanover area. Mr. DeLuca was out of bounds.
Well, their closest game this year was against Lake
The name
Lehman.
of the stadium if we're ready. Yeah, I'm good.
There's a gain of 2 on the play. 4th and 3, Wyoming area.
Have to find out if Dominic DeLuca runs cross country when he's bringing those plays in, especially when the ball's spotted on the opposing team's hash marks.
DeLuca going to go to the air. Wide open. Number 36. That's Brigini. And he's up inside the 20.
They come out in the power eye, which is a predominantly run play offense, and they come out with that power pass, and they just slip him out nicely, right it back to the linebackers for a nice gain.
12 yards on that. Rook already 16 carries, 93 yards, so needs 7 more for 100 already here.
Early
in the second quarter.
Yeah, there it is.
She'll get it on this and may get his second touchdown. He gets taken down short of the goal line by Coe, but it's 1st and goal inside the Manuka Subaru red zone for Wyoming area.
25, Mike Coe, and number 34, Tannen Crackman.
Give all the credit to this offensive line. The holes are there. Maybe you and I could run through them.
I think I might have one good run left, but I got to give a shout out to number 6 on that play, Williams, for his downfield blocking.
Rook, about a yard. He's going to be short.
The Patriots linebacker, number 25, Mike Coe, does a nice job stepping up into that B gap to stuff that run. Bob, you asked earlier what Pittston has to do. Right now, they only have 1 yard. They've got to defend that 1 yard in there. They've just got to stay low, get their pad level, and they got to start to try to reestablish that line of scrimmage.
Warriors picking up where they left off last week. Rook dives in, rolls over, and he scores his second Manuka Subaru touchdown of the night. The Warriors extend this lead.
The power eye that the Wyoming area is running right now, they're just dominating, pushing off, and letting Corey Rock just really run at ease at this time.
They take advantage of the short field. Score their second touchdown. Eat off some time off the clock. Cranston up and in. Second PAT is good. And Warriors extend their lead now 14-0 over Pittston.
Okay, back in Yatesville and at Pittston area, they have my favorite name to any stadium around here. This is Charlie Trippi Stadium, and that's named after a player who actually went to Pittston area, starred in all kinds of sports for Pittston area, and then had a stellar career both in college and pro. Charlie Trippi went to the University of Georgia, where he was the MVP of the Rose Bowl, and then from there he set all kinds of records, served in World War II, later became the #1 overall draft pick in the NFL by the Chicago Cardinals, won an NFL championship, and when he retired from the NFL, he had the career record for most yards gained, which, eventually that was broken. So Charlie Trippi is in both the College Football Hall of Fame and Pro Football Hall of Fame, and he might hold the distinction of being the greatest athlete ever to come out of this area. Charlie Trippi is still alive, and he lives in Athens, Georgia, home of the University of Georgia, which he has been devoted to and served and represented for all these many years. He is the oldest living member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame at 96 years old. So Charlie Trippi, honored here by the stadium being named after him, Charlie Trippi Stadium. Bob, he was a terrific player, no question about it.
Absolutely, Paul. I mean, absolutely, probably one of the greatest athletes ever to come out of this area.
To do all those kinds of things that he's done, and then to come back and give back to his alma mater up here in Pittston, that's tremendous. It says a lot about the type of people we have in Northeast Pennsylvania.
Well, Pittston's offense not done much so far. Is this a lateral? Referee, I believe, is going to call the lateral. It's recovered by Coe. late flag. Something going on in the scrum there. A little jawing going back and forth. But there's no signal for an incomplete pass.
Penalty flags on the play.
Dead ball, personal foul on the offense. After the play, it'll be third down. Third down?
So it's going to go against Pittston area, unsportsmanlike. So not only does the lateral back them up, now they're going to lose yardage on the penalty.
They're not helping their cause right now, and we said earlier, Bob, about the mental aspect and keeping your emotions in check. That's not what Coach Barberi, I know he doesn't coach that, and I know that's going to be, he's going to reprimand that player at halftime.
So with their end zone behind them, Pittston comes out 3rd and 28. And the Patriots offense just cannot get anything going against this very tough Wyoming area defense as Kochko just shoots through up to the 15. The Warriors should get excellent field position again off this punt. And what Pittston area is not doing is what Coach Barberi told us who key to the game was. He wanted to establish the run game. Haven't established much at all.
Well, that last play, Dylan Lukachko did a nice job squirting through that. There was an opening. It was very briefly, but he got through there. The last punt was the snap was a little questionable. So let's hope they connect on this one.
Go with a better snap. Still a low kick. Harrells looking around the 48. He's got a wall on the right side. A flag comes in. Harrells gets pushed out of bounds at the 5. This is going against the Warriors, but still Wyoming area will end up with excellent field position inside Pittston area territory.
On that punt return, Coach Spencer chose not to put pressure on, and that's why that wall was able to set up and they got a good return, but there was, I believe, a block in the back. The official will tell us in a second.
A lot going on that play. It was a decent kick from his end zone for Coe.
That was 48 yards.
Yeah. James Elliott, a referee, trying to figure it out.
Multiple fouls on the receiving team. Got a personal foul, blindside block on the defense. You got a legal block in the back on the receiving team. The block in the back is declined. The blindside block will be enforced. It'll be first down.
So here, let's see a replay to see these two infractions.
Here's the blindside block right up in there where that collision was, where it took down the Patriot player. And again, that flag is for the player safety when you don't see it.
That was the blindside block right there.
I thought that was the block. Okay.
Yeah, you saw that he was definitely turned, and that I believe that was the blindside block.
Okay.
Or it was a block in the back, no matter what. Another flag comes in. It's going to hold things up, and there you see the ball for Wyoming area at midfield. So after all of that,
false start.
It's going to back up
on the offense. 5 yards remains first down.
It's going to back up Wyoming area inside their own territory, back to the 45-yard line to start.
Well, I think Coach Spencer will be putting the foot on the throttle to try to get another score right before halftime.
So 3:41 left before the half, 14-0 your score. Paul Grippy is down there, and I believe, Paul, people still waiting to get into the stadium?
Yeah, Bob, a little news report. I guess traffic backup, traffic jam, even accidents out on the road. And approaching the stadium, traffic is only allowed to approach from one direction, which is to say is down the hill. So if you're coming from Wyoming area, you've got a long way to go. You can look around and see a lot of empty seats here, and that's not because people haven't showed up. That's because they're still in line. There are still a line of cars coming into the parking lot and at least 200 people standing in line to get into the stadium right now. So traffic problems and a backup are keeping people away, and if you're going through this area, you might have a slow trip.
A lot of construction around here, especially with the bridge out on Yatesville Road. Thank you, Paul, for that report. Baruch gets the ball, gets a block. Corey Baruch just keeps going and going like the Energizer Bunny tonight. He's been the whole offense for Wyoming area.
And there's that power G scheme that they like to run. Watch Corey with his ball handling in here. He does a nice job. And again, Andrew Krosick knows he's going to try to swat that hand out of his face.
138 yards already on 21 carries for Corey Rook. Thanks to Tom Robinson for feeding me some stats tonight. Here's Elko, the big fullback, and even he gets 4 yards. And you can see why this Wyoming area team is second in 3A.
And here's that just quick hitting dive with Nick Elko, and I keep calling him Michael Elko because I used to coach against a guy named Mike Elko. So I apologize to the Elko family. No, he was actually about 5'7".
Well, this
about 150
Nick
pounds.
Elko, 6'2", 265, and he's just a freshman.
He was the head coach at Pennsbury High School back in the day.
I have a son who's big. He's 12. What are you feeding this kid at home? Corey Baruch through a big gaping hole inside the Manuka Subaru red zone again for Wyoming area.
And he was brought down by number 90, John DeLuca, for Pittston. And here, you see that? The holes are just opening up, and Corey's just such a solid runner, strong kid, and he's just getting his job done.
Well, we have a leading candidate for the Carmelo Falcone MVP award. Early on, late in the second quarter.
And Corey Rook is only a junior. And there's going to be big things happening for him this year, and it's only going to get better for him in Wyoming area.
Well, a lot of the skill people for the Warriors are juniors, sophomores, underclassmen. Offensive line, though, there's 4 guys they're going to lose. They'll have to replace next year.
But at how they've been playing this year, a lot of those underclassmen have been able to get some experience in there.
Good block by Wakoski, the senior, and Maruk up to the 10.
On this play, you'll see now the right side's getting involved. Cameron Carr and Matt Wysocki on that counter tray.
And we have a timeout, I believe, on the field. Let's take a look at this one
See
again.
those two big horses, and that pin block by number 54, Patrick Nelson, the tackle coming down and sealing off that linebacker inside makes a huge hole.
So it's a Keystone College timeout called by Wyoming area. As Pittston area is having all kinds of trouble stopping this offense that's a force, and it's going to be a force going into the District 2 3A playoffs, right now seeded twice. So let's take a look at the schedule for Wyoming area. And there you see all the wins they've had. They faced 2 teams all year above 500. So the big question mark coming in is, have they been tested this year?
I believe they were against Lake Lehman. Lake Lehman's a solid, Coach Gilski does a great job, and they were doing some things to Wyoming area, but Wyoming area had an answer, and well, it was 29-7. That was their closest game.
So is this team a product of what we see tonight, or is it a product of playing a weaker schedule?
No, that's a product of what you're seeing out there of weight room and the dedication from the staff and these players in the community.
We'll take a look at the playoff rankings later on. DeLuca to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Wyoming area. Brian Williams hauls it in on a beautiful pass from Dominic DeLuca.
Bob, you said it earlier, they have a lot of skill kids at the underclassmen positions, so they're doing a tremendous job, but that offensive line gives them lots of time, a quick 3-step drop, beautiful ball placed right in the corner of the end zone.
Another impressive drive, this one 55 yards. I mean, that 50 yards was a 5-yard penalty to begin. Short fields also helping Wyoming area tonight. Pittston area's offense, not much to talk about. Elia Cranston nails her 3rd PAT of the first half. 1:18 remaining, 21-0 the score.
Here we go. 1-2-3, does a nice job. He's not thrown off his back foot, stepped into that throw. Beautiful spiral pass, and Williams just concentrates, brings that in.
And the score was 1:18 remaining to play in the first half. Wyoming area 21,
So we talked about the standings in District 2, Jan, and Scranton Prep's only lost, of course, to Valley View undefeated. So that's, you see the points, that's based on probably Prep's strength of schedule this year and the teams they faced. Where, we, you know, Wyoming area, we already said, 24 and 57 are the teams combined.
And that can be misleading. But again, to be 9-0, it says a lot about their program. One thing I'm noticing is that Wyoming area does have a lot of kids. Lakeland, they only had 29 kids. Prep had a little bit, had about 38, I believe. Western Wayne, I haven't seen this year. Lehman didn't have many kids. Myers, their last year's program, so it's going to be interesting.
Scranton Prep playing Wyoming area tonight. Dunmore taking on Lakeland, a couple key games. It looks like the Warriors will be locked into the second spot going into the postseason. Kravchik spins out. A little excitement. The ball comes out though.
Number 52 got the recovery.
Picked up by Condrey. And you see here Condrey, and he returns it up to the 42.
That was a great heads-up play by Cadre. But again, coach will be telling them, go north and south, not east and west. Andrew has a nice job in here. I would like to see the ball in that other hand. And he spins back in, and they strip it right out from him.
DiPietro stripped it out, and I don't know where he was going. But no matter what, Wyoming area has it. A lot of time left, 2 timeouts left. And they have it on Pittston area's side of the field again.
Well, turnovers are the bugaboo of every football team that ever plays, and Pittston's got to do a better job ball security. Power G.
Number 23.
Franny George on the tackle from behind on Maruk.
Number 24, Franny George. 2nd and 8, Wyoming area.
Time still ticking, no timeouts taken. DeLuca then go to the air. Overthrows Williams out near the 30, clock stops.
Interesting, first time they weren't in a run formation, they went to a trips open set, trying to spread the Patriots out in a little roll to the left, and he overthrew his target.
One of the keys to the game for Wyoming area coming in was get field position. Well, they've had it all night long.
I don't think they've started. Did they start maybe the first series behind the 50-yard line?
Yeah.
That's been it. They've had a short field.
On their own 40, they started. They started on their 50 on the last possession, but there was a 5-yard penalty on the first play. DeLuca again, a little hook and ladder. We're seeing this in the air. Maruk down the sidelines. Inside the 10 to the 5. First and goal, Wyoming area inside the Manuka Subaru red zone. Taken down by Higgins and a timeout call.
Coach Spencer going deep into the book. They must have been practicing this all week. And again, excellent execution. Get the ball to your best running back, and there he goes.
They ran this, I saw highlights this year. They ran this one other time this year, at least once. So they've run it before, so they know what they were doing, and you can see it coming a mile away.
And again, Coach really wants to put the nail in Pittston's coffin before halftime to make that hill turn into a mountain to try to climb out of. So here we go. Quick hitter. They look at RPO, boom. Hook, there's the ladder. Takes it and goes right down that sideline. They almost lost that ball. Again, we talk about ball security. Keep that in there.
Touchdown saving tackle again by the junior. Little ball at the 5-yard line. Coming up at the half, we'll check in on the Fox 56 News first at 10. We'll talk to the new coach of Keystone College as they start their football season next year. And then Jan and I will be back to give you some stats and, well, right now, some Wyoming area highlights. Easy peasy. Maruk in for another touchdown. The offensive line with a huge push, and this was out of hand. 27-0. And it's a Manuka Subaru touchdown, number 4 for Maruk.
Watch this offensive line surge. They're just moving people at the point of attack. And when you have that big boy coming at you, Nicholas Elko, and he's looking for somebody, that tells you that offensive line has done a tremendous job of opening that up.
Ruck might be over 160 going into the half, and he might not have to play in the second half. 7 points away from what we call the mercy rule. And some impact players we've seen already tonight for Wyoming area. Ryan Williams with the big catch. Cameron Carr on defense, and Bercini already has a big sack in there, I think, right?
Yeah, it did, and he also had that, did he score? I think he scored. Out of the power eye, that power pass. Oh, I'm sorry, no, he didn't score. It was a power pass going down.
Yeah.
Again, Wyoming area, very balanced. Now he's going to start working, I guess, his little passing game to try to put teams on notice for playoff.
Just 5 plays, 45 yards for that drive. I don't have to count how many plays have Pittston area run tonight. It's probably under 15 so far. So a lot of work for Nick Barberi's team when they go into the locker room. And for those people who are trying to get into the game, they may drive up, see the score, and turn around.
I thought they were going to stay home and listen to us or watch us tonight,
They might
Bob.
be now. Freshman onside kick. Great job to cover it by
26.
Simmons.
Yep, number 26.
The Wyoming area onside kick is recovered by number 26.
So you think Wyoming area is a little upset about losing last year at home?
I think
they're
so.
Taking it out on Pittston area this year on their home turf.
Those are the things that coaches and kids don't forget, and especially when it's on your home field.
Patriots from the 48-yard line.
Pittston area just going to hand it off and run out the clock. Jordan O'Boyle, the senior, got the official carry for a yard, and that should about do it. Wyoming area rolling up the yardage on their rivals. They have an impressive 28-0 lead going into the break. Ball Grippy's going to grab. Coach Randy Spencer is probably very happy about what he's seen so far from his Warrior team tonight. Randy Spencer 5-5 in these rivalry games, looking for win number 6 of his coaching career. And Paul, let's go down to you now.
Okay, Coach, halftime, you're up 28-0 here. I mean, everything else has been working. What did you like about your team's performance in the half?
Well, again, I wanted to come out here, establish the run. I think we did a great job of that up front. Corey Marook really running the ball hard, and up front between tackle to tackle and fullbacks and tight end, really happy what we've been able to do.
What was the instinct you had that made you call that hook and lateral?
Again, Coach Mazinski does our play calling. Again, he's kind of got that sixth sense, so right time, right play, executed it. Great job.
Okay, good first half, Coach. You're half a quarter from a perfect season. And Bob, we're at halftime.
We are, Paul. Thank you for that. And I'm sure Coach Spencer is going to be very happy going into the locker room. So we're at the half here. It's the Warriors over the Patriots, 28-0. Jan and I will be back with some highlights and some stats
Friday Night
in just a
Rivals
little
is
while.
brought to you by Toyota, Let's Go Places, Luzerne County Community College, Keystone College, and Manuka Subaru.
A year from now, the turf field at Keystone College will look a lot different than it does today. There'll be lines for football and hopefully goalposts right here at Keystone College. And joining me right now is the new head football coach, Justin Higgins. And Coach, every time you think about what it's going to be here next year, do you get excited?
Oh, a lot of excitement. Obviously, you mentioned the expansion with the stadium and facilities, but players on the field, coaches on the sideline. I know we're eager to get out there and coach them up and obviously put a good product on the field and get some opponents in and get to play another team.
What other plans do you have for up here at the field?
Yeah, so obviously facility-wise in general, once you add football, you want to be able to expand. So going to have a brand new weight room, new locker room complex off one end zone, which is going to have our lockers in it, as well as various other teams, here at Keystone, their locker rooms, athletic trainers. So it's going to be a real nice facility. And then we're going to expand stadium, bleachers, press box as well over the next few years. So a lot of good stuff going on.
We're up here in the fall, and leaves aren't changed yet, but this is a beautiful area to watch a football game from, what it's going to look like. The whole atmosphere is going to be great, don't you think?
Oh, outstanding. I mean, Keystone in the fall represents fall. When you think fall, it's football season. Yep. So, that's number one. You take a glance around all the area and where we're at campus. I mean, just what a great location to play and how things echo out over the, surrounding areas. Saturdays are going to be a good day, that's for sure.
What are you doing now with your time? You're recruiting, right?
Recruiting, absolutely. We have no players yet on the field, so we need them. Absolutely. We're getting out a lot of areas that we're hitting. Obviously, PA has great football, and we want to make sure that we start locally and hit locally. But even as we stretch to other parts of PA, the eastern PA, central PA, and we'll get out of state as well, New York, New Jersey, some of the surrounding areas. So really getting out there, getting our name out. Great response so far, and we're looking to continue.
What type of student athlete are you looking for here at Keystone?
Obviously, we want that hard worker, great character kid, and especially as we look to kind of build the football program. But even when you look at our other athletics and our student body in general, we're very driven on making sure that our students get the degree they want coming in. So we want that goal-oriented student. We do a great job here. Our faculty does a great job. We have small classroom sizes that really enhances that development right away. And we're going to make sure that they come out in their 4 years and start in the career that they want.
Well, that may be attracting you here. Why did you choose to be the next football coach at Keystone?
I think when I got offered, I just knew that this was going to be the place. It's been a great area. People have been great. They've been welcome, myself, my family here. Obviously, football's big, and they really feel strongly about it, and we have great administrative support. But when you look at our campus in general and just what we do for the students, when you talk about the professors and the other faculty and the staff here, it's just a huge, close-knit group, and we have a lot of great programs here on campus as well. I mean, a student doesn't have to pay for a textbook here at Keystone. I mean, what a great thing, as well as our Keystone commitment, which we help repay student loans, parent loans as you come out, if need be. So, again, just great options for students, not only during their time here, but we're also going to make sure they get landing in the right direction when they get out.
Tell people your background. 20 years in coaching now, and football before that, I'm sure.
Yeah, so next year will be my 20th year on the sideline, which is a great, landmark, and obviously being the first year here at Keystone. So I've had a chance to coach a variety of locations and great schools in the Northeast, starting back in my time at Ithaca College as a coach, and then I had a chance to branch out. I coached at Lehigh University, Seton Hill University in Western PA. I coached at Kane University in New Jersey, Utica College in New York, and most of my time and most recently spent at Morrisville State in New York as well.
I know recruiting's a grind, but I mean, I'm sure you love it, but do you miss being on the sidelines this year?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think any coach, you want to get on there, and we know how important recruiting is, and obviously it's something we want to bring in those right guys to help build the foundation, but we're itching. We want football. We want to get on the sideline, but it'll come soon enough. We're excited, and next August 2019 will be here before we know it.
In August 2019, September, what kind of schedule are you going to play?
All right, so we're going to play a sub-varsity schedule where we're going to get a chance to play a mixture of teams. We want to make sure we give our guys in that first year, that developmental year, a good opportunity to develop on the field. So we're going to play a mixture. We're going to play some varsity opponents, some JV opponents, and get a chance to really get us on the field and learn how to play together and learn how to play competitively. And then 2020 will be full varsity conference year.
Appreciate the time. Good luck, okay? We're at halftime of our game, and we'll be right back after this.
Okay, back here at Charlie Trippi Stadium, about to start the third quarter, and the head coach of Pittston area. Coach, you found yourself in a bit of a hole here at the half. What did you tell your team about this, and what's the focus here of the third quarter?
Well, we need to come out here. We get the ball coming out, and we need to come out and establish a drive. Offensively, in the first half, we were terrible because of penalties and bad snaps, and so we need to convert here. So our offense needs to put together a good drive and get in the end zone.
Okay, what will you do as far as attacking the ball? I know passing the ball is something you might want to try. Is that going to be the focus here? What are you going to do coming out?
Well, we tried to throw a ball a little bit in the first half, and we had some bad snaps, and we had some sacks. So we need to establish a running game so we can get into our play action and try and chip into this lead a little bit.
Okay, let's good luck, and hopefully we get a good second half and see a good finish to this game, Bob, as we're about to start the third. Up to you.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Coach. Jan Cechak and Bob Ide back in the booth. And, boy, it's been the Corey Marook show here tonight. 161 yards in that first half, and Wyoming Area's done anything they wanted to do.
And 3 touchdowns. He's just doing what he does best. And, again, give credit to that offensive line that is dominating their defensive line. I mean, Stan, you and I have talked about this all season. It comes down to the offensive line, and they are just dominating. I can't think of a different adjective to use.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights, and as we go into the highlights, we'll tell you 247 total yards in that first half for Wyoming Area. And Marook, as we said, 25 carries in that. There's the first of his 3 TDs.
They're power eye again. They're just blowing it back there. Then you're getting pressure off the edge from Derek Ambrosino. I mean, they're just at will. A little play action pass right there for another first down. Here we go, Corey Marook and Michael Amato leading the way for him. Or Williams on that one, excuse me, was doing a great job downfield blocking. Here we go defensively, play action pass and just pressure from all sides. He stepped up like a quarterback's supposed to do, and then there's another guy from Wyoming Area in his face. Look at that beautiful ball. Great job, great pass. Quick out, hook and ladder, a little trickery there. Power eye coming back at you. Who else would you give it to? Corey Marook. What'd you say, Bob? 161 yards and 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. 12 first downs for Wyoming Area, 1 for Pittston Area. And the number of plays run, of course, 14 for Pittston Area in that first half. Unbelievable half for an undefeated team coming in, trying to prove something, trying to end the first regular season being undefeated since 1997 for the Warriors. So Pittston Area will get the ball. Let's see if they can get anything going here in the second half. They fumbled 3 times in that first half. One of them they lost, and it was on the kick. Kravchik up to the 36-yard line. Some impact players that really need to be very good in the second half. Giambra, one of the wide receivers, came in with 27 catches on the year. Brody on the defensive end having a tough time tonight. And the strong safety, Virgilio, hasn't really been tested back there, but has had to do a lot of tackling.
And that's not something you want to see from your safety coming up making tackles.
Minus 5 yards of offense for Pittston Area total in that first half. Cito was 2 of 3, just 8 yards, was sacked a couple times. Still want to go to that running game, trying to sneak Cohen, the fullback. But Carr's there for minimal gain.
That play was just a little fullback trap going to the right. We would have called that 32 trap. The fullback is being designated as the 30, and the 2 is the 2 hole that they were trapping to. So get 3 yards on that. That's a good way to start. Again, slow, methodical drive. I know Coach Barberi, he didn't sound panicked. He just was nice and calm.
Trying to get some kind of play action. Carr's in his face. Coe with the catch, sheds a tackle. But DeLuca's out there to stop him about 2 yards short of a first down.
Watch on this replay. This is a tremendous job. Good play action. Good roll out to the side. Watch how he comes in, the defender, Corey Marook, with the right arm coming into SWAT, trying to get that ball to come out of there.
Again, just 1 first down for the Patriots in that first half. So a little minor victory would be just to get a first down here.
And again, it has to be small steps, especially when you're going up against a juggernaut like Wyoming Area.
We've not seen much from the 2 wide receivers from Pittston Area, and they try to run in. They're going to get a first down. Good job by Lakachko, I believe, to put his head down and power his way for a first down to move the chains. So let's see if Coach Barberi wants to open it up at all.
Well, I think he's going to just try to keep the ball away from Wyoming area. That last play, they just did like a little stretch zone, and Wyoming area flowed to it, but Pittston got that first down.
Drop back, quick out, they get it to Krapczyk. Up for about 7. That was a nice pass and catch.
That was beautiful. Nice job. Watch Andrew on this play. 5-step drop, bang, 2 hands on the ball, tucks it away. Good flow. Corey Maruck, again, from that middle linebacker spot, flowing to his hook curl zone to help support.
Well, last year, Walter Coles for Pittston area threw for 305 yards. So you know Wyoming area was expecting to see a lot more passing in this game from the Patriots. They have not seen it up till now, as Coe gets driven back by Breggini.
On that play, they went to that fullback trap again, except fullback just stopped his feet a little bit too soon. There was a nice little counter step by the tailback. The stout defensive line of Wyoming area said, nope, they're not going to go for it.
Koski there on the tackle, number 71. Trying to hit tight end out there, trying to get it to DeLuca, the senior, went off the fingertips, going incomplete. So 4th down and down 28. Pretty much got to go for it, don't you?
Absolutely. At this point, hey, they're at the 45-yard line, and that's the first time they've been across field since the first quarter. And that last offensive series or set, they went to a shotgun with split backs to try, and they both flared them out. So I would expect maybe Coach Barberi's come back to the eye.
So on 4th down, down 28. Let's see what let's see what Nacito can do with it. He's got Coe out there. He gets him the ball. Coe up for a nice gain. About 7 or 8 yards up to the 35. Pittston area in business a little bit.
Nacito comes out here, play action, sees pressure, gets rid of the ball, and he does it. Coles does a nice job to get there, first down.
One thing you almost have to do is, if you're Pittston area, is get away from Carr. I mean, 10 sacks on the season. He's shooting right in easily, but that's the way you want Nacito to roll, being a right-handed quarterback.
Absolutely. It's easy, the easiest one to throw.
Well, he was chased there and taken down by guess who? Make it number 11 on the year for Carr.
Cameron Carr on this comes flying, screaming down. And again, quarterback's rolling to his left, and that was, yeah, that's all right. Well, that was that was the 2 plays ago.
Yep.
That last rewind.
Carr's all over the place. Backs them up. Now you got 2nd, 20. Wyoming area showing the blitz. Let's see what the flag is.
Ball. False start.
Going to go against Pittston. So now, again, kind of making the mistakes they've made the last couple of weeks.
Hey, they were at the 35-yard line of Wyoming area. Now they're back at the 50. So they're not helping their cause right now. Here we go with that sack from Carr. They go play action. He's rolling left, and he just comes right through and just wraps him up. I mean, one thing Coach Spencer said, I talked to him at the beginning of the game, he likes how the high motor of his defensive line, how quick they are.
One thing they're doing with Carr is they're moving him all over the line. I don't know if they're bringing him with the tight end or not, because he's been on the right and left-hand side. Nacito is going to go down and air it out. And, it was almost caught by Krapczyk. It almost ran right under it. But good defense back there by Jacob Williams. He knocks it down. And by Leonardo Harris.
Here we go. He comes back. There's pressure. He unloads that ball. And you can see look at the defensive back's eyes on that ball. He had it. He actually had that ball possession, 2 hands, and he was a little frustrated. And
That was Harris, right?
yeah, and the ground has always won. Every time I see a player punch the ground, I don't understand. I know the frustration level, but
I like the fact that Pittston at least tried something downfield.
they did. They had to try to get that pressure off, maybe to drop one of the defensive ends off.
Timeout. Pittston.
Keystone College timeout called by the Patriots. 3rd and 25 coming up, and this is what Pittston area's faced this year. They've gone against teams going in, 5 teams above 500 with a combined record of 43 and 38. I mean, there's no slouches there. Berwick, you lose to them. Dallas, we know how good they are. West Scranton's very good. Williamsport, a 6A team, and Prep, the top team in District 2, 3A.
There is. I mean, they have a rougher schedule than Wyoming area. And should Wyoming area have dropped down to a triple? Well, PIAA says by the number of boys in the school, yes. Has it been to their advantage? Yes. Pittston area?
You know, last week was they turned the ball over a little bit. Got lucky to come out with a 14-7 win.
They did. And again, sometimes you take the ugly victories because it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to remember that.
The Wyoming area has come in and they've established that ground game early. And the offensive line has done a nice job. Now Pittston is trying to get something on the board.
Well, if Pittston can get back down into Wyoming area's territory, I think obviously they will go for it. But they've done a nice job. They've almost taken 5 minutes off the board, keeping the ball out of Wyoming area's hands.
Fumble on the snap, and Wyoming area recovers. Another crucial mistake by the Patriots, and it cost them, as the Warriors will take over on that side of the field at the 48.
Right here, just a bad snappy. Again, and then they have a pulling guard on top. That's why the quarterback could not get to it.
By the way, the quarterback was Brian G. Ambra, so a new quarterback, didn't take a snap. For whatever reason, Nacito wasn't underneath center, and bad exchange.
It is. It happens. And Mike Nacito is sitting on the end of the bench right now, so with his helmet off.
DeLuca through 9, 10 still at his feet, give him 11 for the quarterback, DeLuca.
That was an interesting play, Bob. I don't know if it was a missed exchange going to Corey Muruck, because it looked like, again, they were running that counter tray by pulling their big offensive lineman again to lead that way, Carr and Wysocki.
Mike DeCito being looked at on the sidelines. The quarterback from Pittston area, and a fumble. Number 23's back at it, picked up where he left off in that first half at 161. Going to give him a bunch more now. Inside the 15, Wyoming area, inside the Manuka Subaru red zone one more time.
Here's the power G where the backside guards pull in, and Corey Muruck, I'll tell you what, this kid has got a nice burst on him, and he's got good strength.
But the holes, you give all the credit to the offensive line.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
huge today. That one closed quickly. Pittston did a better job on defense there. As, what was it, Higgins with the tackle from his free safety position.
And I've said earlier, when your free safety is making most of the tackles, that's not a good night for him or the rest of Pittston. But watch the offensive line on this. Watch we talk about their demeanor and their body position. Their shoulders are low, straight back, cleats are in the ground.
Rook still.
Number
23, Rook up to near the 5. Big scrum in there. Bad news, I think, for Pittston area. They're going to lose their quarterback. As Nacito's on the sidelines. He just took off his equipment. It's not looking good. We'll get a shot of him in a minute. DeLuca goes back underneath center. And then it was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
By number 77 of Pittston.
Riley Brody.
Yep.
By number 77, Riley Brody.
Well, you know what? You got to give Pittston a lot of credit right now. Being down 28 and the ball being spotted at the 12-yard line, they're starting to play pretty stout down there. And let's hope that on this 4th down, they can keep the ball out of the end zone.
DeLuca to the other side, wide open. Touchdown. Wyoming area, Derek Ambrosino in for the Manuka Subaru touchdown. So after the fumble, Wyoming area converts.
Power eye right, they go to power pass, but then he throws it back, which is a great way because everyone's flowing to the power. That was a great call again from Coach's offensive coordinator at Wyoming area. He said earlier he has a sixth sense for these things.
Leah Cranston in, good snap. And it's blocked at the line of scrimmage. So with 5:17 remaining, Wyoming area extends their lead 34-0. And I believe that an MVP will be awarded after the game. Right now, I think we might know who it's going to be. But to find out more information on that, let's go down to Paul now.
Hey, Bob. Yes, a nice little tradition around the Wyoming area, Pittston area game. They will present this trophy after the game. And it is the Carmelo Falcone Memorial Trophy. And I am joined by Carmen Falcone right now. So tell me, what's the origin of this trophy and why did you guys want to present it?
Well, initially it was in honor of my grandfather, who never was able to play sports. And the year after he died, we wanted to do something in his memory. And so we came up with the idea of this Carmelo Falcone Award. We've been awarding this since 1978. This makes it 42 years that we've had it. Unfortunately, Wyoming area has a little bit of an edge of winning the trophy, but it's been pretty close. It's a good game, and the boys look forward to getting this kind of trophy. We have a plaque in our office with their names, and it's always be there forever.
Yeah. Well, let's get a better look at it here. Hold it up and smile like a trophy girl here. We're like at a NASCAR race or something. But it's got your family's name on it. I know, what kind of pride do you take in presenting this and having that name on it?
Well, it's when you walk down 5 years from now or 10 years from now and you see some of the boys that you presented the trophy with, it's amazing. They say, hey, I remember you when you gave me the trophy. And there's been so many, it's really an honor to hear them say that they still have this trophy up on their mantle. They may have gotten other trophies, but this is the one that really means a lot to them because this is the game that means everything to those guys.
Yeah, it's no small trinket. Who are some of the guys that have won this? A few guys here tonight, I think, right?
Yeah, Jimmy Norris had won it, one of the coaches previous to here. Mark Sickler, Jerry Zangardi, who's coaching the staff here at Pittston area now. He won this trophy. I remember presenting that trophy to him, and he still has this trophy.
Yeah. So you'll watch the game closely, you'll pick a winner, and after the game, you'll be the guy presenting it, right?
Right, but we don't pick the winner. We've never picked a winner. The sportscasters up in the press box, they're the ones who really pick it. We don't have nothing at all to do with it. It's just as much a surprise to us as it is to whoever wins it.
Okay, and also, you know, Bob, Greg Dolan, coach at North Pocono, he's a past winner, but we'll wait and see after the game who takes home the Carmelo Falcone Memorial Trophy here and walks off the field with pride to carry that one. Thanks a lot, Carmen.
Thank you.
Great award, and thank you, Paul and Carmen, for telling us about that award. So Pittston area is going to have a new quarterback. As we said, Mike Nacito has some ice on his shoulder. Brian Giambra is in. Their other backup quarterback, Alex Anastasi, a junior, he's out ill.
He was, and Coach Barberi was concerned that he'd have to go down to take one of their better receivers and put him at Q.
See how this affects the passing game, and Wyoming area is just teeing off. Give it to O'Boyle. He shoots through. Nice gain there. Up to the 38.
Number 23, Jordan O'Boyle is the ball carrier.
Well, Coach Barberi said he wants to try to establish a run game. Here we go with a little trap, a little power game, excuse me, with number 74 coming out there, pulling for. That's Seth Johnson leading the way.
Giambra to the outside, up past the 40.
Number 2, Brian Jambra is the ball carrier. Stopped on the play by number 17, Jacob Williams.
There you see the disappointment in Mike Nacito's face.
There is a game.
Had a tough time, but like sacked 3 or 4 times, I think, in this
It's
game.
been
And
4.
maybe got taken down on one of the shoulders on one of those. You see the ice right there. So he'll be out, and hopefully he's back for the playoffs next week, as Pittston area will head to the playoffs.
I think it happened when Cameron Carr sacked him on that one when he was rolling to his left. Good break up there.
Nice job on this in the secondary.
But number 17, Jacob Williams, a sophomore.
Is incomplete. Depending on the play for Wyoming area is 22.
Jacob Williams has had 20 tackles and 1 interception this year. As I look down the defensive line for Wyoming area, Coach Spencer starting to substitute younger kids in. We talked about that, and I'm sure he may be doing that on the offensive side.
Carr takes down Giambra. A couple yards short of a first down. 4th down again, now on the way. Coach Barberi, and looks like he might be sending the punt team in.
There is a gain of 4 on the play.
And at this point, injuries become a factor. You don't want to get anybody hurt. And this game's pretty much over for all purposes.
And I'm sure Coach Spencer is really like kicking the grass right now because it's not 35 and that mercy rule would be in effect to make this a shorter game.
Coe's best punt of the night. And it's going to be a touchback, I believe. Yep. Nope. At the 1. Nice job by the special teams. The ball was outside. And Wyoming area will have it at their 1-foot line.
Tonight's Friday Night Rivals game is brought to you by the Toyota RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
2:28 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Wyoming area led at the half 28-0. They've added another score. And, you know, Coach, we always talk about how long the drive, you have to make a mistake, but I think in this case, you're up 34-0. If they do have a long drive,
well,
the game might be over because it could take 10 minutes.
True. And Coach Spencer's, these kids are not going to rest on their laurels at this point. They know that they want to get that undefeated. They know they want to get a better seed in that playoffs.
Well, I think the seeds are set pretty much. I don't think they can overtake Scranton Prep. And Prep is beating Western area. Well, Western Wayne, excuse me.
And on that play, Corey ended up doing what they've been doing, their bread and butter play and ISO play. Big Nick Elko leading the way for them, and they gets them out from the 1 up to the 8-yard line.
I don't think we'll see too much of Maruk into the 4th quarter as he goes up and gets back hit by Giambra.
And Brian Williams is down right now for Wyoming area.
That's number 6. Tom Robinson's feeding me another stat. 30 rushes now for Corey, 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's a tremendous night, and this is
Tom,
third quarter.
Is he Falcone winner now? Can we announce it? Come on. 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. So we'll see some clean jerseys, I'm sure, going in. So Pittston area is headed to to the playoffs. And, you know, Coach Barberi's done a nice job with this program over the last 2 years. He's got them into the playoffs, which is a real great feat. They've not have good years.
It is. Coach Barberi is his coaching style is laid back, but he's very intense, and he has these kids buying into the program that he's trying to sell. And Pittston area is a very tough area to coach in because they have high expectations. And coaches I think he's met them, and he's starting to maybe exceed them.
There you saw right now, I think they'll have to play Berwick next week. 3 versus 6 if everything plays out, and it should for the most part. And we're going to see some teams this year into the district playoffs that are under 500. That's just the way that the bracket's going to break down now when we go to 6 classes, the way it's been for 2-3 years.
Well, PIAA, they're trying to get more teams involved. They want to make sure that teams like a Pittston right now, okay, granted, if they're going against Berwick, they're going to be underdogs, they know that, but it's going to give them valuable experience, especially with their younger kids, to be able to get that and say they've been to the playoffs. It's going to be interesting. Well, let's hope that right now Mr. Williams is doing okay, because they want to be there in the playoffs. So there he is. He's getting up.
Brian Williams going to hobble off. Hopefully he's all right. 6A going in, Delaware Valley. Williamsport was winning tonight. Del Val as well, Hazelton. This probably will remain the same. It's a sub-regional, they call it. The favorite, Delaware Valley, they've already beaten all of those teams this year.
They have, and Williamsport lost their best running back, Trey Potts, and that changed their entire offense, and that's the reason why their scoring hasn't been as high as it has been the last few years.
Well, when Williamsport and Pittston went, 36-33 was the final score, so Pittston right here played them very well in that game.
Pittston,
without Potts, good.
Yeah, no, Pittston they have shown that they can compete. And that's when you take over, that's one of the things most coaches, we just want to be able to compete week in and week out.
So Ruck up to the 17, 18-yard line.
Now on this play, watch Pittston's defender here lock out, but Wyoming areas, he ends up turning them, shielding them, and that's allowing Corey Maruck to able to just get up there and get 5-6 yards. So Pittston is doing things, technically they're sound. They just have to start making the play.
Corey up for another first down. Up to the 25. Again, this drive started at the 1-foot line.
That last play, junior linebacker Brian Herron makes a stop. And again, they're getting washed. When the defensive linemen are getting pushed back into your linebackers, it's difficult for them to try to do their job and make the play. Wow.
Still on his feet, Rook. Spinning and bobbing and weaving, takes a big hit at the end by Coe. Taken down by DeLuca, and that will be the last play of the third quarter. So Warriors extend their lead by 6 as the extra point was no good, and that's where we stand after 3.
(34-0) as we start the fourth quarter here at Charlie Trippi Stadium. And Bob and Jan, I have a question to ask you. Now, this is the trophy that they will be playing for tonight. It's the Pittston Kiwanis, Pittston area, Wyoming area championship trophy. One of the best rivalries in the entire district, but every good rivalry really needs a name. So we convened a panel of experts, cleared out the boardroom. They sweated away for hours to come up with a few choices for the two of you to decide the future name of this game. So let's take a look at the options here, and we'll pick one. We'll be trendsetters tonight. So panel of experts come up with River War. All right, not bad. How about the Battle of the Bridges? Or let's try the Pat War. Pat War. Get it? Pat War.
Yeah, I got it.
Patriots, Warriors. The Pat War. Or how about let's try 11 on 11 on Route 11. So what do you think? I mean, the panel comes up with this. We've got to inaugurate something tonight to name this trophy and this game. Bob, Jan, your thoughts?
I don't know if we can bring that list back up. I kind of like the Pat War, but I don't know if that really rolls off.
I know, seeing how I'm not really from this area, I'm a flatlander, I've been told. I like the Battle of the Bridges, but
yeah,
if
there's
they're
a
going to put it
battle
on
of the bridge between Loyalsock and Montoursville. But
okay.
that's the bridge, though.
All right.
Not
all right.
bridges. And if, as you know, there's a couple bridges that go over.
Yes, sir.
But you didn't bring in like the Susquehanna River, like the Susky battle.
That doesn't really roll off the tongue like 11 on
like
11 on Route 11.
No, I like that, but
the Pat War.
Pittston's not on Route 11 though. It's on Yatesville Road.
I think like they did earlier this week with the middle schools doing the can drive, I think they should put it in the hands of Pittston area and Wyoming area.
Yeah, put it into we wanted the kids to vote.
I thought we could decide this right now. We're here.
Yeah, I know.
The three of us are here. We're smart enough guys, right? Well, you know, it does say Pittston Kiwanis, maybe the Kiwanis Cup. That could work.
Yeah.
All right, let's try that. I don't know. I wanted to come up with a list, though, so there's the choices.
No, I like the list.
I do.
Okay.
I like the list a lot.
All right, but we didn't come to a consensus?
No, I don't think we did.
All right, maybe for next year then.
Maybe.
Okay, we'll work on it. Thanks, Bob.
No, thank you, Paul.
Okay.
I know you worked hard all week on those 4 choices.
That last play, the Warriors go to the option game. DeLuca steps down, steps across the line, then pitches it back to Mr. Maruck back there. Gets that first down.
Kind of surprised to see the starter still in for Wyoming area.
Well, number 4 is in there. Russin is out at the split ends position. They go with that. All right, quarterback keep.
Still playing hard. DeLuca up inside the 20, the 30, should say, near the 27. You wonder if Coach Spencer just wants to call a timeout, do a big change, and have his team get a round of applause. Looks like they'll go to 10-0 for the first time. It's 97. Headed to the playoffs as the second seed in 3A. And we like to look forward. We can look forward to maybe a prep Wyoming area showdown at some point, which would be a heck of a game.
It would be a tremendous game.
And remember, it's a 18 seed, 8 seeds. It's probably the only mistake he's done all night. Oh, that's not even Rook. Leonardo Harris, who we talked to him about on defense a little bit more.
Come back with the ISO play. Again, quarterback DeLuca is so used to, giving that ball. He knows where the sweet spot is for Corey. And again, you get a young guy in there. You've got to make sure you get back to your basics.
Lead the freshman Harris in there.
And that time they gave it to the big boy, Mr. Elko, So you can see that next man up mentality and the writing on the wall for Wyoming area is going to be bright.
23 checks back in, by the way. Muddy and dirty, and that's what you want to see from your back when you're in a rivalry game like this.
He is truly a warrior with being that dirty. You know he's the guy that they're giving the ball to, and you can tell by his jersey and his pants that he's been really, really going at it hard.
Give it to him one more time. Nice job by Brian Haran. Aaron, excuse me, number 43, called his name a couple times. There you see Coach Spencer.
One of the guys that we really haven't mentioned on the offensive line tonight is Bryce Hinkle. He's the sophomore center. Again, he's got an important job. He's the one calling out the fronts, making the calls for that offensive line.
DeLuca hit on the option. Maruk, I think he swallowed it up pretty quick. Really the only negative play we've seen tonight from the Warriors.
It has been. On this option play, you'll see DeLuca coming down the line of scrimmage, and then when he options, it's behind Corey. You always want to try to keep what we call in phase a 4x4 with that, where he should have been on his hip.
Credit to Riley Brody, who made DeLuca maybe toss that a little bit sooner than he wanted to. So second and long. Back to Maruk, runs into his own player. As we have some clean jerseys in there. Paula Moran in there, 62 for Wyoming area on the offensive line.
We talked to Corey at the beginning of the game, and he said he looks up to Alvin Kamara, and I think Alvin right now, if he knew that, would probably be really proud of this young man's efforts this evening.
Look at Chase to the end zone. He's got a guy. Guess who it is? And he in and out of the hands of Maruk. He had it. I don't know if he's hurt or just upset.
On this play, Wyoming area went to something different. A trips open set. Great pressure by Pittston.
I think he just fell on his shoulder or something.
It looked like he grabbed his left calf on that.
Left calf?
That's a cramp.
Yep.
How many yards does he have this evening?
Near 250.
250. I think he's. I think it's okay if he has a cramp.
Obviously a season high for Ruck.
Friday Night Rivals is brought to you by Keystone College. It's a great fit with over 40 degree options, small class sizes, new football program, and Division III athletics.
Well, we want to give a shout out tonight to the maintenance staff here in Pittston area. Tony D, Jimmy D, Joe C, Richie, and Nick. Amazing job on the football field and upkeep of the grounds around here. And also, you notice some pink ribbons and the pink down on some of the numbers, and that's for Cancer Awareness Month. One of their maintenance staff members, Brian Pesseltine, has been diagnosed with cancer. There's a benefit for him coming up on Saturday, November 10th from 2 to 5 at their Germania Hose Company in Duryea. So that's November 10th from 2 to 6 at the Germania Hose Company in Duryea. We give all of our best to Brian Pesseltine. Hopefully he recovers. Here's a replay of that.
You see that there's the motion coming across, play action rolling to his right. And you'll see that he throws that ball off his back foot because of the pressure Pittston's putting on him. Corey lays out for that ball. And you can see right as he was coming down, you can see that he just grabbed that back left calf.
Would have been fourth score. Look, is still in there. Comes Coe on the rush. Go to the end zone again. This time trying to hit Jacob Williams, the sophomore, in the end zone.
And that was 4th and 15.
So Pittston area will hold and take over on downs. And that group of kids going to go home happy. And they'll be set for the playoffs next week as their team will host first round. So some clean jerseys now coming in for the Warriors. Giambra back in at the quarterback, number 2, for Nocito, who was banged up.
We've got a couple new one new linebacker in there. Corey Maruck is out now, obviously. Number 43's in.
Tailback gets the ball. 45, Devin Atkins, a sophomore.
Number 45, Devin Atkins is the ball carrier.
He shoots up, some positive yardage. Give him about 5 or 6.
On this play, just a toss play, trying to seal that, let that pressure of the offensive line come in so that the running back can get to the outside.
5 minutes left in this one here at Charlie Trippi Stadium. It's been all Wyoming area from the onset. They took the opening kickoff.
They had a nice drive.
Nice
they
drive.
had one first down, and that was it.
Yep,
in the first
they got
half.
held on. They actually scored on their second drive of the game. Giambra deep for Krafchick, double teamed, and it goes incomplete.
Number 2, Brian Chambers.
Jacob Williams and Leonardo Harris breaking that play up. He had time. He got that ball off quickly, though, because of pressure from the defensive ends here. Running backs have to do a better job taking that pressure away.
3rd and 5, Patriots.
Ball a little underthrown. He had to cross it, had to come back for that.
Boyle met by a host of Warrior players.
That was a play that I'm sure he took that from Lake Lehman because they had success with that. The left guard pulls to the right, but the running back is going away from it, away from the pulling guard, trying to get that misdirection flow for the defense. You'll see that right here. 77's going to the right, 23's going to the left, hoping that the defense would flow with that.
Well, the Wyoming area came in with 18 sacks. I think they had 3 tonight.
Yeah.
And add that on, they came up giving up only 6.8 points per game. That's going to drop right now with the shutout as Pittston area is going to punt. So stat-wise, they're going to head into the playoffs with a lot of momentum and looking pretty good.
And their confidence level is really high, and the way that they were playing very disciplined tonight. That was, I know Coach Spencer will be very pleased with the way his team was. Now I say that, and then the yellow flags come out.
Is the returner for the Warriors. There are penalty flags on the play. Once again,
Okay, not too many streaks in this game. In the 54-year history, Coach. What was the longest and who had it?
I'd have to say 4.
4?
4.
Okay, this has gone on since 1966.
Because I can't see with this type of rivalry, I can't see one team dominating
Right,
that long.
exactly. But it did happen.
Okay.
And in fact,
Let me think. Was it Pittston?
could have been.
Okay. I had a 50-50 shot, Bob.
You did. Flip the coin.
That's why you won't see me down Mohegan Sun or down Atlantic City or Vegas, because I'm not good at this predicting stuff.
Well, Patriots, 1999 to 2004, won 6 straight.
Wow.
In the series.
Okay.
Again, Wyoming area leads the series, though, 29-24. We'll add on to that. 30 coming up. So after all is said and done, some penalties. You see that the Warriors are going to march down the field. They'll have the ball at the 18, 17-yard line. Begin this drive.
Oh, that was a nice hit.
Quickly is Williamson, Quay Williamson, a junior. No gain. 3:20 left as the crowd starts to file out here at Charlie Trippi Stadium.
Hugh Bentham on that one, a junior, 5'9", 230 pounds, did a nice job coming through for Pittston area to stuff him.
Flag comes in. Williamson with the ball, showing some great power inside the 5. Clock will stop as we sort this one out. A nice run there by Williamson.
On this play, you see the toss coming out. Now you have a young offensive line out there too. Coach Spencer's replaced that entire offensive line. They worked hard this evening. Let these young guys come up, get some experience.
So it goes against the Patriots for a legal substitution, and it'll be first and goal, Wyoming area inside the Pittston, Manuka Subaru red zone, inside Pittston area territory.
Quarterback calls his own number, had good surge.
No signal yet. Going to be about a half-yard short. So Jacob Williams, the quarterback, the sophomore. They get the play, clock rolling. Someone sent in we'll have to tell Paul, someone sent in an idea for this rivalry, the Cross River rivalry. To the air.
94.
Touchdown, Wyoming area. Jimmy Miller, the tight end. He must be a fan favorite because everyone is running down to him.
We'll have to ask Coach Spencer what that is about. Maybe Coach Grippy can find out what that's about.
I don't know. That whole team is down there. He rolls out.
Play a little,
Good
just
job
a roll out. I mean, Williams throwing a little jump shot out there. I mean, look at these guys. The Wyoming area is ecstatic over that.
Well, there was a flag down for unsportsmanlike conduct. Well, a little over celebrating, but obviously that meant something to Wyoming area. Coming off for the extra point again is only will be 59 this time.
Number 59, Jaden
Russin.
to attempt the extra point.
The extra point no good. And we'll take a quick timeout. 1:45 left in the game. Well, Wyoming area is going to pick up number 30 in this rivalry. 30th win, that is. As they're going to beat Pittston area tonight pretty handily on the legs of Corey Marook, who had over 250 yards in this game, and really Wyoming area established that power running attack early.
And they just continue to do what they do best, and that is run the ball. And it was nice to see that they opened it up, their passing game, a little bit.
Picked up by Pittston area, and with the ball, Branham, senior DJ Branham, playing in his last game. Scranton Prep easily beating Western Wayne tonight, so they'll be the top seed in District 2 4A. Lakeland beating Dunmore tonight. Lakeland will be in the 3A playoffs. Dunmore will be the top seed in 2A. Valley View with an easy win. And Susquehanna beating Riverside 28-17. That game was supposed to be played yet tomorrow, but because of the impending rain, they moved it down to Riverside. Nice job at Branham. Nice little run.
That's Devin Atkins on
Yeah,
that,
Atkins,
Bob.
sorry.
I'll tell you what, he's got a nice burst to him. Little toss action on here. Boom, and he cuts back. He came back. Play was supposed to go left. He came back to the right side, breaks a few tackles, and just keeps his head down, keeps running.
Atkins, a sophomore. A couple more plays coming.
Number 45, Devin Atkins.
Atkins again. So Wyoming area again, 10-0, going into the playoffs. A lot of momentum. Powerful offense, defense really played really well.
They're really stout. Their defensive line gets things done. And I know we keep talking about Corey Ruck at running back, but the way he plays linebacker, I think, is overshadowed. He does a great job reading. He's quick in the hole. He's fast. I think if he doesn't go to college as a running back, they're going to recruit him as a linebacker. He's got great instinct.
Galley with the last play of the game for Pittston area. So this one's in the book. 54th meeting is going to go down in the record books as a big win for Wyoming area. The final score, 40-0. So the Carmelo Falcone MVP gonna go to, guess who, Jan? You're wrong. I didn't even give you a chance. Corey Marook.
Didn't.
Over 250 yards rushing. Very deservedly so. So the teams will line up and they'll award the trophies to both teams. And we'll see if Paul can.
Steve, I should be able to get this real quick. I should be able to.
As you hear Paul in there. Paul going to effort Corey real quick. We'll tell you, we will be off next week, regrouping, and then we'll be back for the first round of the playoffs. Well, it will be a district championship probably, or a semifinal, November 9th. So our Friday Night Rivals crew will be back with you November 9th. We don't know where we'll be, but stay tuned on our Fox56.com, our Facebook, and on Twitter, and we'll have the information on that.
Hopefully Paul can find out what that last touchdown,
Corey, can we
the
talk to you real
significance
quick?
was.
Yes, sir.
Let's go down to Paul real quick with Corey.
Okay, so you get the 40-0 win over your rivals here. What was this game like, the intensity? What's it mean to beat Pittston?
It was definitely the most intense game we played all year. It brings the best out of everyone. We played good football. They played good football. It was just one big effort.
If I told you before the season you'd be 10-0, what would you have thought?
I think it's possible, but you just got to play every game week by week. You can't get ahead of yourself. You have to win every week, go 1-0, and just work harder every week.
Well, you had over 250 yards tonight. You tired?
A little bit. Banged up.
A little dirty, too. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
congratulations,
Thank
Corey
you.
Muck, the player of the game. Yep, they are 10-0 at Wyoming area, Bob.
Yep, 10-0 and headed to the playoffs. So that should about do it. Thank everyone here at Pittston area for helping us out and welcoming us into this game. No name yet for the game, but a lot of things tossed up. We'll see if one of them sticks. Jan, and we'll see Jan back in the playoffs. We'll also see Jan with Kings and Wilkes coming up in a couple weeks as well. Again, we're headed to the playoffs in Northeastern and Central Pennsylvania. We'll be back on the air November 9th at 7 o'clock. So for the entire Fox 56 sports crew, for Paul Grippy, for Ron Seachak, this is Bob Ide saying so long from Charlie Trippy Stadium.
This is Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.